Welcome everyone to This Explainer. Let's get right into it, because I am absolutely pumped to break this one down for you. We are setting the stage for what is shaping up to be a highly anticipated June 23rd World Cup clash between footballing royalty, Portugal, and tournament debutants, Uzbekistan. We're going to break down the tactics, the numbers, and the narratives using all the data we've gathered.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this question right here, it's literally the heartbeat of this entire matchup. We are looking at the ultimate David versus Goliath narrative. On one side, you have Cristiano Ronaldo and a Portuguese squad just dripping with world-class talent and legacy. On the other, a super-hungry Uzbekistan team stepping onto the biggest stage in football for the very first time. Are we about to witness a historic upset, or will the Giants hold their ground?
Act 1. High stakes, under pressure.
So the opening round didn't exactly go to plan for either of these sides, and both are desperately looking to recover. Portugal actually stumbled right out of the gate with a really frustrating 1-1 draw against DR Congo. They dropped points they were heavily expected to secure. Now contrast that with the debutants, Uzbekistan. Yes, they lost their first ever match 3-1 to Colombia, but context is absolutely crucial here. Despite the loss, they showed massive improvement in the second half, adapting to the pace of the tournament and creating several high-quality chances. They're really finding their footing.
783. No, that's not a typo. That is the massive number of passes Portugal strung together in their opener. They completely dominated the ball with 75% possession. But here's the kicker. Despite all of that control and nearly 800 passes, they managed to shockingly low 7 total shots. And get this, only 1 single shot on target. This number highlights a glaring inefficiency. They had the ball all day, but they just couldn't penetrate the defense.
Act 2. A tale of two teams.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast we're dealing with today. We're going to rapidly compare the very distinct tactical profiles these two nations bring to the pitch. Look at the difference in pedigree. You've got Portugal's vast experience up against Uzbekistan's literal first-ever appearance. But hey, don't let that fool you. Both teams have proven they can find the back of the net, each scoring 1 goal so far. And both have shown real defensive vulnerabilities, with Portugal conceding 1 and Uzbekistan conceding 3.
Now we're staring at a massive discrepancy in playstyle. Portugal held a commanding 75% possession in their last outing, while Uzbekistan managed 36% against Colombia. Honestly, this practically writes the script for how this game's going to flow. You can expect heavy, sustained Portuguese possession pressing high up the pitch against an Uzbek team that's perfectly willing to sit back, absorb the pressure, and wait for their moment.
So how do those styles actually translate into strengths? Well, Portugal is coming in with a desperate need for a win, relying heavily on world-class stars like Cristiano Ronaldo, their suffocating midfield control, and that dominant possession game. But Uzbekistan? They counter this with a highly motivated, well-organized defense and incredibly dangerous counterattacks. And we absolutely cannot overlook who is orchestrating this defensively astute Uzbek side: legendary coach Fabio Cannavaro. If anyone knows how to organize a defense to frustrate an attacking giant, it's him for sure.
Act 3. The tactical battle plan.
Knowing all their strengths, how are these managers going to deploy their pieces on the board? For Portugal, we're predicting an aggressive 4-3-3 formation. I mean, just look at the names on this list. You've got Diogo Costa in goal, protected by Cancelo, Diaz, Inacio, and Mendes. But the real engine is that midfield and attacking block. Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and João Neves pulling the strings, feeding an intimidating front three of Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Rafael Leao. This lineup is built for immense attacking talent and absolute midfield control.
Let's move to and see how this builds for Uzbekistan. They are predicted to roll out a very structured 4-2-3-1 formation, with Yusupov in goal and a backline of Saifiev, Husanov, Ashurmatov, and Nasruliev. This whole structure is perfectly designed to pack the middle of the park. With Hamrabekov and Masharapov sitting deeper, they're built to absorb that heavy Portuguese pressure we just talked about, and then spring lightning-fast counterattacks, utilizing the sheer pace of Faizalayev, Shomurodov, Sergeev, and Urunov.
Act 4. The final prediction.
So the crucial point is, when you synthesize all of this analytical breakdown and feed it into the prediction models, there's a massive statistical advantage given to the favorites. Portugal is sitting at a commanding 75% win probability. The models give a 17% chance of a draw and a really slim 8% chance for an Uzbekistan victory. The sheer quality, attacking depth, and experience of the Portuguese side heavily weigh the scales in their favor.
Translating those probabilities into an actual scoreline, the prediction models point us to a 3-1 victory for Portugal. The rationale here makes a lot of sense. Portugal is under immense pressure. They simply have to win after dropping points to DR Congo. While Uzbekistan will definitely defend deep and make it super difficult for long stretches, the overwhelming attacking quality of Portugal should eventually pick the lock of that deep defensive block.
And if we're predicting a 3-1 scoreline, who's actually going to find the back of the net? Based on the attacking profiles we've analyzed, the predicted goal scorers for Portugal are Cristiano Ronaldo, midfield maestro Bruno Fernandes, and the explosive Rafael Leao. But remember, we noted Uzbekistan's counter-attacking threat. The models predict they will get on the score sheet too, with Eldor Shomurodov being the most likely candidate to finish off a fast break.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this 8 out of 10 metric. This represents the confidence level that analysts and prediction models have in a Portugal victory. An 8 out of 10 is a really strong indicator. It basically tells us that despite Portugal's struggles in their opening match, the underlying data and historical pedigree strongly suggest they're going to course correct and secure this crucial win.
But football, as we all know, isn't played on a spreadsheet. It's played on the pitch, which leaves us with this final burning question to close out our explainer. Will Uzbekistan's counterattacks, orchestrated by Cannavaro's defensive masterclass, be sharp enough to defy that tiny 8% win probability? Can the debutants step up under the bright lights and actually slay Goliath? We'll all have to watch the match to find out. Thanks for learning with me today, and enjoy the game.